Hi, everybody. How are you? Today is Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, and it's Tuesdays with DRT. And I know I have not been on in a few weeks, but I am back today. Wanting to say hello and reintroduce myself. So, again, my name is DRT, and I am a certified um, personal growth coach, and I help people to reach goals, but to understand what they want to accomplish, and figure out their lives. That's part of my why as well. So I want to come on because March is Women's History Month, and we've been at our job. So we have a few inclusion networks, and our job is we really the women's group has really been promoting Women's History Month, and so I felt like this is an opportunity for me to celebrate the women in my life who have just been influential. So I was, hey Pat, hope you're having a good evening. So I was cleaning out my desk. So I have a drawer and I was cleaning it out. And I ran across, which is so funny, I ran across this is a commencement program from 2009. So I went through it and I'm like, oh my God, this is my my commencement program from 2009 when I graduated my bachelor's. So just to date myself, I graduated high school in 1991, and I went into the workforce. And then later on, I had managers that would tell me you should go back to school. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know really what I want to do. I don't know if I want to remain in corporate America. I just didn't know. So I didn't go back to school. I just kind of took time off. And then later on, I decided, okay, you know what? I may want to go back. And so I started pursuing my degree, and then life happened, and I would stop, and then I would get back on. Well, in 2005, my mom passed away from ovarian cancer. She was diagnosed, I want to say, in 2000. I want to say 2003, maybe something like that, 2004. But she made me promise that I would go back to school and finish my degree and get my degree, because she did not finish college. She got pregnant with me in her like last year, almost last year of school, and so she never went back. She went back, but then she never finished. So she promised me that she used to call me Dee Dee. So she said, Dee Dee, I want you to go back to school. I want you to finish your degree. I want you to get it, no matter what you want to do with it. No matter if you don't know what you want to do, or if you don't want to stay in corporate America, just get your degree. And so I said, okay, I will do that. So in 2009, when she passed away, then I started um, looking at what school I wanted to go to and transfer to, because I had credits, but I knew it would take me time. So I worked full time at a technology company, and I went to school at night for about, I probably think I started school in like 2007, maybe. So for 2 years, that's what I did. And so in 2009, I graduated. And so I just found this, and it reminded me of the promise I made to my mom. And that spurred the thought for me, which is, okay, you know what? It's Women's History Month. So let's talk about women in my life who have influenced me, who have helped me, who have inspired me, right? So I'm going to start off with my mom. And so for each person that I just thought about briefly when I was thinking about going live, I thought about people, and I gave everyone like two words that they taught me. And a lot of times we don't realize, but people are learn from us by what we do, not as much as what we say. So if you're around like younger people, or if you have siblings, or neighbors or whatever, a lot of times people will learn from you because of your actions, what you do, how you react in a scenario or a situation. not as much as what you say. So what that whole, I think is what, back in the day, parents would say, do as I do, or do as I do, but not do as I say, not what I do. But that's not true. As a kid, I'm going to emulate what my parents are showing me, not necessarily what they're telling me. So my mom, the two words that I gave to her is tenacity and purpose. Tenacity and patience. Tenacity because my mom never gave up. So when she became a single parent with 7 kids from ages, the oldest was 11, which was me, and my baby brother was a newborn. So he was born in July and she became a single parent in August. So he was a month old. My mom did not give up. And my mom was a at home mom. Like she was not in the workforce. So when that she became a single parent, she had to, transition to be in the workplace and to figure it out. And so she didn't give up. So tenacity, because tenacity is you just keep going. And I feel like I have that inside of me where things have happened and I don't give up. I don't give in. I don't stop. I just keep going. And the other word for my mom is patience because she has so much patience with 7 kids. I don't know why she didn't just make us stay outside sometimes. But she didn't. She really had patience with us, and then she had patience with like knowing that that this was not always going to be like this, knowing that it would get better. She just had this patience with God, like not blaming God for what happened, but just kind of like, waiting to see what will happen. So patience and tenacity are the word from my mom. So when I think about my mom, I think about my grandmother. And my grandmother was one for me, and some of my cousins and my siblings may not agree, I don't know. But for me, my grandmother was one of the sweetest women that I ever met. And people would say, my friends would say, man, she's the sweetest old lady, and so she taught me how to be kind and sweet. And then she taught me how to love. So my grandmother had 13 kids. And so when we were growing up, I think on the weekends, I want to say a Saturday or a Sunday, I can't remember when I was really younger. We would go over to my grandmother's house and all my cousins would be there and all my aunts and uncles. And it would just be like the party time. And the aunts would be in the kitchen cooking and the uncles would be outside, I don't know, doing what. And the kids would be running up and down the block, all of us cousins, and just having a ball. And my grandmother just showed us a lot of love and a lot of kindness. So those are the two words that I just picked up from my grandmother is how to be kind and how to be sweet and how to be loving, no matter what. And that was a big thing two things that she taught me as well. And then my sister, and I'm gonna give my family initials in case they don't want their names broadcast on YouTube or Facebook. But my one sister, her initials are DC. So this sister I grew up with in the same house forever. So I've known her since she was 3, I guess. No, I was 3 because she's 3 years younger. And so the word that things I learned from her is how to be caring. So she's a very caring person. She will give you the shirt off her back. Even if she doesn't have it, she'll figure out a way to get it for you or do things for you. But she's also so funny. So she's the person that if I'm down, if I'm having a bad day, she will like lift me up because she will make me laugh. And she will say the most silliest things to kind of get my mind off of whatever's happening. And she'll make a joke, right? So she'll make a joke or whatever. So she really has taught me how to be humorous and how not to take life so seriously and I know things happen, right? And it's the other thing that's happening. I feel like I want to share too is that we went through this whole pandemic in 2020 with the coronavirus, and then we had the Delta, and then last year in 2021 we had the Omicron, and then now things are opening back up. People are saying CDC is like you don't have to wear a mask everywhere, and we're getting happy. And then now there's a potential World War III, I believe. I mean, it's just so many things. And so how do you not keep going? And how do you, when you want to give up, not give up? So she has really taught me how to be caring to other people, to reach out to other people, and actually how to make humor and to make have fun in life as well. So my other sister initials are AB, and that sister is kind and thoughtful. So she is one of my older sisters who we didn't live in the same house, but we always see each other. And so as I grew up and as I got older, I began to know her even more. And she is the most kind, thoughtful person I've ever met as well. But one thing that she taught me how to be a friend. And so I noticed her relationships with her girlfriends. I never heard her complain about a girlfriend or saying, well, yeah, we're not friends no more because of this drama that happened. She really stays away from the drama and she's just very low key. And so she's really taught me how to have those friendships, but how to be kind and thoughtful and how to not like let the small things take you away from your friendships, especially with girlfriends, because we know that as women, we are not the most sometimes supportive of one another, and we have to support each other, and sometimes we get jealous of each other. And the one thing I've seen with her is just consistency with her friends, and some friends she's had for years, like I don't know, 20, 30 years, and so it's amazing to see her have those friendships for that long. It's been a testament to me. And my other sister, her initials are LG, and she is a sister that I didn't grow up the same house with, but I would see her every couple of months, at a time, and so I got to know her. But as an adult, and it's what happens when you grow up and you don't grow up in the same house. When you get older, you begin to get to know your siblings, especially for me, my older siblings, a little more. But two words that she taught me is how to be straightforward, like just how to really communicate what you want and what you need, as well as she's taught me how to be really friendly. So my sister AB was kind and thoughtful, but also friendly. But my sister LG, she's like, if you go with her to anywhere, people are just want to talk to her. Like she has that personality and that persona that is just so friendly. And so people in the stores and restaurants will smile at her. But she's also straightforward, that she doesn't like sugarcoat things, which is really nice because sometimes we need someone that would just be like, look, this is what you need to do. This is not okay. Whatever that is, they will let you know. So she's has taught me those two things. And then my aunt, her initials are RS. She has really taught me how to be authentic, and likable. So this aunt is super, super authentic. Like she does not hold back when it comes to being her true self. And I don't know about anyone who's watching or the recording or online, but I know for me, I struggled when I was in my late teens, 20s, and my 30s, even in my early 40s, with being authentic, being my true self, coming to the table, being D. Like it would be like I would just like try to be someone else or try to figure out what other people wanted me to be and not being myself. And so that has really affected me. And I noticed that with my aunt, she beats her true self no matter what situation she's in, no matter what circumstance, no matter who she's around. And that's such a high quality trait to have, which is really good. And something that I've over the last probably 3 to 4 years have I really appreciated myself, loved myself enough to really show who I am no matter where I am. And so she's taught me that, and she's very likable. So she's like with my sister, LG, who would go in the store in the restaurant. People are like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm doing great." So she's a very likable person as well. And my goddaughter, her initials are PH. My goddaughter, I've known since she was a baby. So before she was born, She's actually one of my first cousins. So my aunt made me godmother, I think before she was born or right after she was born. So I've like known her all her life, and she is now about to be. I don't want to say the wrong age, but she's going to be somewhere between 26 and 28, I think. But she taught me how to be curious, and so at a certain point, my goddaughter lived with me, and the one thing I really, really appreciate about her at 13, 14 years old was that she was curious. She did not stop asking questions. She did not stop wanting to learn. She did not stop wanting to figure things out with her life, but she remained curious. And that's something that even today I try to remain curious with things. I don't just take things as face value. I will ask questions. I will try to, if I'm talking to someone, try to get to know them by asking questions, by being curious, by trying to understand their lives. And the same thing at work. I do that. I remain curious. And so she also is taught me how to be even more forgiving. So she's a very forgiving person. And she's gone through a lot in her life, but she has not held these grudges or held people hostage to, oh, you hurt me, 10 years ago, like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. She pretty much is able to forgive and move on. And so that's an amazing thing for me to see. And two things that I really, really value about her is her being curious and forgiving. And then my mentor, her initials are MG. She is, and I've known her for, oh my gosh, I probably met her before I was 30, so probably about almost 20 years maybe, or maybe 20 years. So, but what she's taught me is how to motivate people. So she's a motivator. She will motivate your socks off, and she will, if you are like like I've been in a situation where I was torn of what to do or how to do something, and she'll encourage me, but she'll motivate me to move forward, to not sit, or not just, you know, get stuck in this one thing. But she's also a prayer warrior. So she's the person that when I need prayer, I do call, I do text and say, pray for me, pray for my family, pray for whoever. And I know that she will pray. And not only will she pray, but she's serious about praying. And so that's important for me. And that's two things that I was taught from her um as well. And then my godmother, who I am named after, she's known me all my life as well. Um, I Two things I've learned from her is how to be affectionate and how to be supportive. And so my godmother is one of the people that when you meet her, she grabs you, gives you a big kiss on the cheek, no matter how old you are. She gives you the best hugs. And I last year in 2021, as I was transitioning from one state to another state, I was on the road a lot last year. I don't know how many miles I put on my car for being on the road, driving from Chicago to Alabama, driving from St. Louis to Alabama, driving just all over the place. And I was stopped in Memphis, and my godmother lives in Memphis. And I think I've seen her like four times in 2021. That's the most I've seen her in a couple of years because she relocated. And so it was just nice to get those hugs and get that support. And so she's very supportive, very affectionate, and she's taught me and she's been that way all my life. So even as I grew up as a young girl, she was always affectionate and supportive. And one of the things that her and my god sisters taught me is, she will laugh if she hears this video, but they taught me how to shop on a bargain. So my god sisters were the first ones to introduce me to like the discount stores. I forget if it was I don't know. I don't think it was Nordstrom Rack. I don't know what it was, but maybe Findings Basement in Chicago. But they taught me how to buy really nice things, but not buy it for the price, which is nice, right? And so a lot of times, like I like nice things. A lot of us, we like nice things, but how many times can you just wait and not buy it when it comes out during the season, and maybe wait and buy it later and get it for like 30% off, 40% off. So she taught me that with my god sisters, and I really appreciate that about her and my god sisters as well. And then the one person I thought about when I was writing this is my I was 22 when I started working at a bank in downtown Chicago, and so I went from working at a small bank to a really large bank. And so I was young, trying to figure out life, and didn't really know or understand corporate America. And I had a manager, and I forget her name. I think I remember her first name, but I don't know her last name. But she had to be maybe in her 30s. She wasn't like, when you're younger and you meet people, you just think that they're so much older, and then when you get older, you're like, oh, you're only 2 years older than me. So she was one of the people who was a manager at probably in her 30s, and she was excellent, and she taught me so much about how to be a leader, and she taught me how to be respectful because she was in a manager in a male dominated corporate America. I mean, it was other managers, but they were all men, and most of the managers or anyone of the in a certain level at the bank were men. And so for her being a woman, a younger woman, being a manager, she really took me under her wings and taught me so much about corporate America, taught me about banking. I remember when I first got my first house with my sister, she gave me some like a knowledge and tidbits and things that she was like, pay attention to this, don't do this, do that. So very, very helpful and very encouraging. And so I just wanted to celebrate Women's History Month by saying that as women, one of the things that we have to do, we have to really work on this, and this goes across race, across religion, across whatever, because we're all women first. Like think about it. And I'm gonna bring this up because I thought it was so funny. And I didn't plan to say it when. So my sister and I have a women's group on Facebook. So we did a Facebook Live, and we talked about a little bit about women and what we take on and what we have to handle. And I think about it. If you think about it, women we do a lot, and we do a lot. We make things happen. We don't give up. We don't give in. We when we're in pain, we keep going because we deal with pain on a monthly basis. Some of us. So a little headache is not going to stop us. A little throat thing is not going to stop us. And sometimes we go. Where if something really serious happens to us or we have an ailment, we will ignore it and not get the help we need because we're like, I get over that. It's no big deal. And so, women, we take on a lot. And so, with Women's History Month, I know we have just one more week of March or a week and a half probably, but I want to encourage you as women who are watching to take the time and encourage another woman, build another woman up. If it's someone in your life, another woman that you've been thinking about that has been on your heart, reach out to her, send her a text and say hi, or reach out to her on social media. The other thing I would say is we have to stop being jealous of one another or insecure and or um, backstabbing each other. Like as women, we should be coming together more. We should be encouraging one another. We should be building each other up. If you see one of your friends on social media that's doing good, send them a congratulations. Like, why do we have to scroll through people's social media accounts and get jealous and get like, I don't know why they're doing that. Like we just have a whole conversation with ourselves about somebody else's life. Why can't you just celebrate? So I want to really, really encourage you to do that because it's so important. And so many times we forget that. We forget that there are women who need other women, and maybe you're the person that person needs. So don't be afraid to reach out and be there for another person. So I wanted to share this slide, if I can get it right. But for those of you who are on, any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you as I get this set up. So let me share my screen. Okay, so wanted to share this quote by Anne Frank. And she says, everyone has inside of him or her a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. So that is what I want to leave you with on this Tuesday. On Tuesdays with Dorothy, that your potential is amazing and your potential is so great, but we just don't really realize how much we have inside of us and how much we can love, how much good news is in us, how much positive things are inside of us when we just let go and do it. So I'm leaving this quote by Anne Frank with you. And again, my name is Dee Arthi, and I am a certified um, coach, speaker, and trainer, but I really focus right now on personal growth coaching. So if you have any questions for me, if you would like more information about the coaching services or sessions that I run or offer, let me know. If you're interested in participating in one of my mastermind groups, let me know that as well. And I do have monthly webinars that I offer free of charge to whoever wants to join. It's a Zoom webinar. It's on a Saturday morning. My next webinar is in April. And so it's going to be, I believe, April 23rd. And I'll include the link in the comments, but April 23rd, and the topic is being mindful in the midst of chaos. As our world is still turning and things are happening, and we think we're at a steady, we get to the point where like things are good, COVID's almost over, things are getting back to normal, and we're like, oh man, gas prices went up. Oh man, we're still running out of food in stores. Like it's so many things, but how to be mindful in the midst of that chaos. What tools can you put in place so that even though there's chaos around you, you can still be mindful and you can still be secure. So with that, I'm going to sign out for today. I hope you have a great evening if you're watching this in the evening. If not, have a wonderful week and enjoy your weekend that's coming up. But again, my name is Diarthi. So keep growing, keep going, and keep moving forward. Bye for now.